In this clip from RMDS Labs I'm Data 2020 conference, you'll hear from Chief Technology Officer at Freewheel, a Comcast company. Dianne Yu will explain how machine learning is changing the advertising industry.
The next era of the advertising, we believe changing, the advertising industry has to be the machine learning. So let me start a little bit, zoom in a little bit on our how we utilize machine learning. And we use machine learning throughout our platform. But let me just focus on a little bit on the challenge of helping buyer and seller understand the relevant characteristics of the audience consuming video content. And this is our typical data pipeline. It's probably as similar as the data pipeline you used to see. It starts by capturing the data about media consumption and consumers' demographics, our internal transaction history, and our client CRM, Salesforce data. And we process by ensuring anonymity and a matching data set and aggregating all of those information together, looking for characteristics that are useful for prediction. We then store that and normalize the data and then make it available throughout the company. We use the analysis to help us to understand feature importance and then competing model options against each other and validate which model perform the best. We leverage the data and the models primarily through activation and then close that cycle with real world feedback to tune all those models. The iterative feedback is quite important here. Let me take a few examples on the dataset compatibility. Here you see the two similar data set. And the similar data set often available from multiple sources. We need to blend them to enhance the accuracy of our final models. And the visualization here shows two data sets, how well they each characterize some behavior data we use in our modeling. You can see that they're actually drastically different. Our approach has been we blend them. To blend, we use those machine learning techniques. We are scaling up and down the influence of each model based on a calibration data set. We also iterated feeding to test how well tweaks, basically tweaking those modeling assumptions to tune the model output. And we basically analyze all the marginals to determine which piece of the data may be the noise so that we can discard in next run, and what are the key critical factors we need to add in for the future input. And the regression and error analysis to evaluate modeling output to ensure stability. So the benefit of our system is once we collect the data back, we can use that to understand how accurate and how well the data has been performing. So once we understand that, we can use this to tune the next run of the data. So what you see is a typical pattern. At the beginning, we take in all those data, and the initial run take a lot of time, especially picking different set of model. But as we gain in more and more data, and we get smarter, our model gets smarter and smarter, become more laser focused on things that actually matter. We apply that across the board in our system. And of course, we typically run into some of the challenges like, you guys probably run into in the field. And sometimes the critical input have limited statistical control before coming to us. And we couldn't really control those. But basically we evaluate whether those fixture will be significant, and then we can look into how to further enhance those. And we do all of those, evaluate all of those, and have a periodically review, and just to look at the impact of skill on attribute by attribute base in order to improve the model stability, like gradient boosting and the neural network and logistic regression and the k nearest the neighbors and et cetera, et cetera. So this is all to ensure we understand how our inputs and accuracy of modeling options evolve over the time. Once we do that, basically we can, for the next round of the iteration, we can be more focused on the things that matter to us. And it's probably worth to point out that for different type of component, different type of capability in our platform, it will employ different type of approach. It's not holistic. And a lot of times, because our platforms empowering a lot of our customers' capability in the data, so for each customers that has a different type of approach as well, because due to the different type of complexity that they have on their platform, on their business. The audience management system really is just like one component on our tech platform that powers our marketplace. Now let me just pulling back out of those ways to connect to the real world. Our model engine are connecting to a lot of diverse data source. I think data is the key. Without those data source, you have like no model to begin with. We have data from all different aspects of our business. We have data from the predominantly seller tools, and brand name over there, probably like a LiveRamp, Experian, and Salesforce. And we have data from buyer side of basically account tools like Epsilon, Merkle, Axiom, and also media. A lot of media using Inkscape, like Comcast data, and other MVPD data, and other partners like Data Plus Math, like Kantar, like some of the credit card analysis data are also available. So we take our system, most of our machine learning or data engine. The first step is really taking in all of those data and using those data to synthesize into a coherent single view of audience, and then to figure out the identity mapping, anonymously, of course, to make sure that we meet the privacy compliance. And then we figure out a side of the audience that advertising and our advertisers marketer want to target on. And we feed that information, into our machine learning modeling engine, to, basically in order to deliver. And then those models turn into a set of actionable strategies. And those strategies used to actually influence forecasting and influence planning and packaging and pricing, at the real time making decisions, and influence the scoring engine and influence the matching engine, so that we can optimize for the best advertising result for advertisers and also for the programmers. And we manage that across our platform via reach and frequency mechanism, and in a deduplicated manner. Because once we identify individual and move from one screen to another, we need to make sure that we recognize it's the same continuous view, so that we don't count as two person. And all of those is executed in our Freewheel marketplace. We believe, just like ad serving and machine learning and data modeling will become the bread and butter of any advertising platform in the future. And this is the key to a smarter media marketplace.
If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more content like this. Visit us at grmds.org to hear Dianne's full talk, Machine Learning and AI Demystified for TV Advertising. Through the link in the description, you can take advantage of a complimentary 1-month premium membership to view all the talks from I'm Data 2020 conference, webinars, online courses, datasets, and much more. Join our data science ecosystem at grmds.org.